I don't want to lose you, but if I hold on to you, I'm going to lose myself. And I'm going to repeat that one more time. I don't want to lose you, but if I hold on to you, I'm going to lose myself. And let's just break that down real quick, right? The more you hold on to someone that is not applying themselves, or that is not applying themselves in a way that is going to uphold the vision and the dreams and the goals that you have for yourself, and you considered having it with them, then I have to let you go. And that's the power, because the power comes from the fact that you had to silence all of your emotions. You had to, suppress all of the feelings you have for this person, or suppress all of the thoughts and visions that you had with this person. You have to know how to suppress that in order to let them go. And that's power. Because how hard is it that you place that person in your dreams, your visions, your goals, and then they don't come with the same energy, or they're not reciprocating the same worth ethics, or they're not even trying to feed into the vision or the idea, but they were so quick to just say, okay, yeah, I want that too. It's time for us to start realizing something, right? It's time for us to start, when we're dating someone or we're planning this vision with this person, we have to kind of like study them and study what they really are capable of doing. And it's not more so of what they just saying. It's like, what are you physically doing? What is your physical movements? What are you applying in your personal life that I can benefit from if things don't go right with me, or if I need someone to lean on, right?
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Lessons I Wish We Knew. Let's begin our signature mantra. I release what no longer aligns with my higher self. I honor my growth, my vision, and my journey. I am free to become the person I am meant to be. Today's topic is something deeply personal: how to let go of people who no longer serve you. Letting go is one of the bravest acts of self-love you ever take. It's not about holding resentment or cutting people off out of anger. It's about realizing that some connections aren't meant to last forever, especially when they hold you back from stepping into your full potential. This isn't easy, trust me, I know. But the moment you start letting go of what no longer aligns, you make room for the blessings and people who truly deserve to be in your life. Letting go is initial for your growth. Think of your life like a book. Each chapter represents a stage of your journey. Some characters will appear for just one chapter, while others will stay throughout the entire story, and that's okay. But when you hold on to people who belong in an earlier chapter, you're trying to bring the past into your future. That's when you start to feel stuck, drained, or even lost. Here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to grow with you. Some people are comfortable with the old version of you. And the one who didn't dream big, set boundaries, or prioritize peace, but when you step into your power, those same people may start to resist your growth or even resent it. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring for those people. It means you care enough about yourself to recognize when it's time to move on.
Learn to let things go, big and small. Whatever it is, just let shit go, right? And I have an example. I saw a TikTok the other day, and the lady was saying she was in a car with her husband, and they were going on a 13-hour road trip. And he's like, hold this water bottle. And it was like an empty water bottle. And she said, he's like, is it light? And she said, yeah. He's like, okay, I want you to hold it the whole trip. I want you to hold it up the whole trip. She's like, well, it's like 13 hours. I'm going to get tired. He's like, but it's so light. And he's like, it's so light. And she's like, yeah, but holding it up that long is going to get me tired. And he's like, exactly. No matter how light or no matter how, big or how small the issue is, the more you hold on to it, the heavier it gets.
The hardest thing to do is letting go of someone that doesn't want you. Now, you might see them on Instagram having all this fun. They're posting that they're living life, that they're, doing well. And it's almost like they're not even thinking about you. It's almost like it hasn't hit them yet that you're not in the picture and they moved on. And of course, that may be true. They may be living their best life. They may be on these dating apps. They may be out here just living life, going on dates, having a ball. And then you're stuck at home and you're feeling so small, insecure, like no one's there for you at this time, and you don't know how to get over that. This person will eventually come back. And I don't say this just to blow smoke up your ass. I'm saying this because this person actually will come back. Now, when they come back, it's not because they actually love you, they want to be with you, and they want things to work out. It's because things did not work out with whoever they were with, and they had all their fun, and now they want to come running to you. One thing you cannot do, you cannot go backwards. I know when you get that text, you're happy, you want to talk to them, but don't go back. And also, in this phase, don't text them. Don't say anything to them. Just go completely ghost, silent.
And so how do you get rid of friends that are no longer serving you?
This is not the right way to do it, but I just stop making an effort. Like, if you are no longer adding value to my life, I'm not going to go out of my way to try and schedule time with you. I'm not going to really make time for you. But the people who do bring value to my life, that bring me joy, that bring me laughter, I'm trying to see them whenever I can.
Today, I'm going to teach you a skill that you should have been taught when you were a child, but probably weren't: how to let go. You want that person to change. You want the past to have gone differently. You want the future to go your way. It is completely normal to want these things, but holding on to them too tightly can end up leading to a lot of suffering. One of the hardest things about being human is, at the end of the day, we really don't have that much control over what happens to us. And if you aren't given the tools to handle this reality, it can be incredibly hard on your psychological well-being, because we human beings absolutely love being in control and we absolutely hate not having control. But we cling on to things because we think it'll give us the control that we're looking for, but at the end of the day, it just leads to more pain. And how heavy is this burden that you've put upon yourself? You're trying to control the uncontrollable. You can't change that person. You can't rewrite the past. You can't control what happens in the future. So if you're ready to let go of something that you've been clinging on to, I'm going to give you a tool that will help you with that. I call it the 4 C's. Clinging. Name what you're holding on to. You can usually figure it out by asking yourself, what am I trying to control in this moment? Compassion. Acknowledge the pain that you're in. Not only the pain of not getting what you want, but the pain of holding on to it too. Give yourself some love by saying something like, it's okay if you want this, and it's okay if you feel sad that you're not getting it. Choose. Now that you've named it, you have the opportunity to take control and decide if you're ready to let go of this. Ask yourself, is holding on to this serving me, or would it be better for me if I let go? Finally, courage. If your answer is let go, then take one brave step towards releasing it. You could say an affirmation to yourself, like, I'm releasing what I've been holding on to. You could set an intention. Today, I will let go of this. You could take an action, like calling a friend, going for a walk, writing in a journal. Or it could be an inaction, refusing to engage with it further, or simply accepting whatever is happening without trying to change it. Letting go is not something that you usually do once. You do it over and over again. But every time that you do, you find a little bit more freedom. It's going to help you to be happier because you're learning to accept reality as it is and freeing up your energy so that you can focus on the things that actually are in your control, where you do have the power to make change happen.
How do you even know if you're surrounded by the wrong people?
When you're in the right environment around the right people, you never have to question anything that's real. So if you have so many questions about, are these people for me? Is this environment for me? Then you probably got your answer. If all you had to offer was friendship, who would still be around? Because a lot of people are around me because of what's around me. They didn't love Trent for the heart of who I am. They love Trent because of what Trent could provide. When a benefit ends, that's when the loyalty stops.
Secret to letting them go, it's not in hating them. It's becoming indifferent to them. It's not caring what they're doing with their life anymore. It's deciding that you're going to do better for yourself, not in spite of anyone. Because the truth is, you can't continue revolving around what could have been. They're definitely not revolving around what could have been. So, protect your peace and let go for you, not anyone else.
Self-care also looks like letting people go that are no longer serving you. I know it's hard. I know you love them, but you have to love yourself enough to realize that this is just not working anymore and to cut that tie and to let it go. It's really okay to choose yourself. I needed to hear this, and I know someone else needed to hear this today. Choose yourself. I promise you won't regret it because you're the most important person in your life.
You ever notice how when you start healing, a lot of your friendships start to feel off? It's because so many connections were built on trauma bonding. Venting, gossiping, mad negativity. It's like once you make the choice to be more positive and focus on your growth and focus on your healing, and you shift the conversations away from just constant struggle, you realize there's really not much else to talk about. They literally have nothing else to talk about. And then you start to realize, like, wow, these relationships really were built on, like, shared wounds, trauma, and you start outgrowing them. That's really what it is. And it also made me realize how many people just want to stay stuck in their chaos. They just want to stay stuck in their mess. Most of them do not want to fix it. And then when you start to set those boundaries, like, hey, I really don't want to talk about this. I really don't want to gossip. I really don't want to just complain. Then you don't hear from them because ain't nothing else to talk about. That's actually very crazy. That's crazy.
Know that it's not easy to look at people we want in our lives and say, oh, I'm finally cutting you out. It's not easy to look at these people and say, I no longer want to keep giving the maximum to your bare minimum. It's not easy to look at somebody and say, look, I desired so much from you, but you chose the opposite of me. And it's not easy to continue to make everything your responsibility. At some point, you have to decide, this isn't worth staying in. This isn't worth fighting for. Because you're the only one fighting. The ship is sinking and you're the only one trying to throw water out of it. At some point, you just gotta let it sink. It's not your responsibility to change anyone's mind. At the end of the day, at the end of your life, when this is all said and done, the people that you had to force to love you or to like you or to pick you or to see you differently, those are the people that you're gonna hate the most. Because they've drained you and they pulled you away from who you fully were. And the people that love you and the people that want the best for you, these are the people that are going to feed into you. They're going to give you everything you need and desire, because their love for you has nothing to do with what you give them. It has everything to do with what they desire to give you.
There must be something in the air, because baby girl's finally cuddling Dada, and I woke up this morning knowing it was a PJs all day kind of day. Anyway, happy Mariah Carey season, everyone. This is literally my favorite time of year. And one of my favorite routines to do with baby girl is to take her outside at sunset before I start cooking dinner, just to play, get some fresh air, and if I'm really lucky, I'll have to mine for some rocks out of her mouth, you know, just a little bit of razzle dazzle. Anyway, the sweater weather effect is so real. I just feel this longing to be near those I love. But call me sappy, but this time of year also makes me think about the relationships I'm having to let go of. You know what I'm talking about. The ones that no longer serve us, and yet we fight and we run and we don't want to listen, just like baby girl who's running away because I caught that she had something in her mouth. But take it from someone who is having to embrace this new season as a wife and a mother. What's for you is for you and should not have to be forced. Making meals for my family has taught me I have a limited amount of resources to nourish those I love. And frankly, I don't have the time to give my energy, my heart real estate, and my time to people who aren't going to show up that way for me too. So as the year comes to a close, as well as this mundane evening in my household, I'm letting the natural pause inspire reflection and rest and utter delight in my chosen people. In other words, I'm not checking for people who aren't checking for me. And sis, I say try it. It just might be the old faithfuls who keep you warm this holiday season.
How do you know when a relationship no longer serves you? They drain your energy. After spending time with them, you feel emotionally, mentally, or physically exhausted. They don't support your growth. Instead of cheering for your dreams, they criticize, downplay, or dismiss them. They try to keep you small. They may not say it outright, but their actions and attitude discourage you from becoming your best self. They resent your progress. As you grow, They may try to guilt you, argue with you, or make you feel like you're too much or changing. They refuse to grow. Growth requires effort, and not everyone is willing to do the work to involve with you. These signs can show you up in relationships, friends, family, or romantic partners, or even colleagues. Ignore them only prolong your pain. Let me share something personal. I used to have a close friend who thought I would always be by my side. But when we've been through so much together, but as I began working on myself, healing and setting goals and envisioning a brighter future, things changed. She didn't support my dreams. In fact, she often made passive aggressive comments like, "Why do you think you can do that?" Or she can bring up my past mistakes as if it remind me why I shouldn't dream big. At first, I stayed because I felt guilty, I thought. She'd been my friend for years, and I can't just let her go. But eventually, I realized that holding on to her was costing me my peace and my purpose. Then there was the romantic relationships. One ex would say all the right things, but never back them up with actions. He'd tell me he supported my goals, but then when I share a win, he'd ignore it or find a way to make it about him. Another ex manipulated me into thinking I was the problem every time I questioned his lies. He gaslighted me into doubting my instinct, making me feel like I was asking for too much when all I wanted was honesty and respect. And then want to bring the old me and trying to humble me. So these experiences taught me that letting go isn't about hating someone. It's about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing when someone's no longer aligns with your vision and being brave enough to move forward.
When it is time, when you glow up, when you are in your best self, when you are embodying your highest self, do not go back to the past to try to stun on people who did you dirty. Okay? Some people want people to see their success. They have something to prove. They feel like if they go back in the past and show that they've grown up and to show that they made something of themselves, that's just going to be, a boost to their ego or whatever that looks like. Don't do it. Those people were removed from your life for a reason. There is no reason to go back to revisit your past, to go back to revisit people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Leave people where they are. Everybody does not need to have access to you in your best state. This is how you protect your energy. There are energies attached to the past. There are energies attached to people who have done you harm in the past. Do not go back and try to stunt. Leave people where they at. Okay? Leave people where they're at. This is your season to embody your highest self. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. This is your season. The only person you have to prove something to is you and the next level of you that you will step up to and continue to step up to, because there's levels to this, okay? So this is your reminder to leave people in the past. Leave people where they are. Don't go back to look for people who aren't even checking for you, who probably don't even care. Just keep going and stay tunnel vision focused on your dream.
I am so comfortable with goodbye. My goodbye works as good as my high does. I can high you and I can goodbye you. And I don't mean that in a cutoff way. No. I can say goodbye to the expectation that I had of you. I can say goodbye to the reality that we had if something changes within the relationship. And that way, goodbyes help you to kind of calibrate where a relation is and isn't, and it helps you to move on in a better way. Most people don't move on with their lives peacefully because they've never said goodbye internally.
Art of letting go. The art of letting go things or people that do not serve you. Do not serve you in a positive way. Why? Because life is short. Don't hold on to that crap. Let it go.
Certain men just have to get left behind. When you're younger, you want to be friends with everybody. No one can hurt you when you're younger because you don't even care that much. But the older you get, bro, it's more important that you protect your mental health. There's certain men around you that are doing certain things that you know is getting to you, but they don't mind doing it. You have to let them go. There's certain friendships they know they shouldn't be keeping. This one I hate in particular is when you know man don't like a certain guy. It's not for no reason. The person has violated. We all know but this was a violation. We've all agreed. But you lot don't want to hold my man accountable. Ooh. You lot will just be, his birthday, you'll be posting him as if my man didn't do nothing. Yeah. How do they expect me, as a friend that did nothing, How do you feel?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
True.
But I think we share similar pains. Anyone, certain people sometimes need to get community beaten. That's what it's called, yeah? Because if we as a community don't beat them together, then they're not going to learn. It becomes a thing of yeah, it happened to you, but it ain't happened to him. Yeah, so
he's waiting.
Yeah, but if one person is trying to, do you know what I'm saying, and everybody's still
just
acting
on the
like
side,
That means it's like, oh, he's just in his feelings.
yeah,
innit?
exactly.
Kind of
Like,
gaslights you a bit.
Yeah,
innit?
like, even you start to think to yourself,
Are you
am I
moving mad?
overreacting?
Yeah, I don't wait for it to happen to me. If
Yeah.
I see someone do something to Uzi and he's within our circle, that's it. I I don't need it to happen to me. For
You
me
be a
to-
foolish guy, innit?
Yeah, but some
You've
people
just
like that,
seen
though.
somebody do it
Some
to
people
my
are like
man,
that. He hasn't
and you
done it to
walk
me.
into the same thing.
They'll say maybe it was a mistake.
You see that it hasn't done it to me? It's too common, man.
too common.
Like, you can't allow that.
It's the IMO pod with 3 young kings. Sukali, DT, and Uzi Pondis. In my opinion, we're the pod of the year.
If you're going through a difficult time right now, whether it's with a relationship, work, and just life in general, and you're struggling to stay positive, I'm going to give you a little story that might help you reframe everything. I was hanging out with my 3-year-old niece this weekend, and she has this rinky-dinky toy that she is obsessed with, but she's been asking me for a Barbie doll, so I went ahead and I bought it for her. Now, in order to give her the Barbie doll, I was trying to take this old toy away, but she freaks out. She is kicking, screaming, crying. She's just throwing a tantrum because the toy is all that she's ever known. What if you're no different than that 3-year-old girl? What if the universe is trying to take away the thing that's expired, that's no longer good for you, and give you something that is far better than anything you could have imagined, but your brain can't even fathom the possibility of that? What if you are kicking and screaming and holding on to something that's no longer good for you, and that is preventing you from getting the thing that you actually want? What would happen then?
Message for anyone dealing with a one-sided friendship. You're considering letting it go, but you're a little scared. This message is for you. My number one rule in my life is that if it's not an equal exchange of energy, whether it's a job, a friendship, any type of relationship, it's simply not in alignment with me anymore. I want you to seriously ask yourself, is there an equal exchange of energy? Am I receiving as much as I'm giving? If no, time to let it go. Second thing I want to tell you is when you release this friendship, you're actually doing such a service to not only yourself, but to that person too. You are creating more space in both of your lives for more aligned relationships to come in. Even though on the egoic level, it can feel really hard, the soul level, it's actually the most beautiful thing that you're letting this person go and you're allowing more space in your life. This is a really common struggle that I feel like is not talked about enough. Losing friendships is fucking hard.
It's wild to me that some people won't take action in their own life because they're afraid of what someone might think of them. Like, it's not even real. It hasn't even actually happened. They're just afraid of what they might think. We are constantly holding ourselves back from taking action in our lives or doing the thing that we actually want to do because of the validation or opinions of other people. And I really empower you to think about this for a second. The version of you that somebody else creates in their own head is not your responsibility. It's up to them to decide what they think of you. And if you can have this mentality, like, whether you like me or you don't like me, I'm good, it will save you so much in life. You will build a life in alignment with your own version of success. You will start living a life on your own terms in alignment with your values. When you care too much about what other people think of you and it creates paralysis by analysis and it causes you to stay stuck and stagnant, you are basically living a life based off of what other people want for you. And it's the worst way to live. So think about that. When was the last time that you decided that you weren't going to do something because of what someone might think of you?
How do you help someone let that go?
That is a great question because there is no like formula. But the reality is it is a day by day. Okay, Lord, I trust you. And really it does boil down to actually, do we? Because it's easy to say that, but whether or not we release our grasp on the things that we love, that is what tells us whether or not we actually do trust him. And so day by day saying to him, okay, Lord, I'm going to trust you with this desire today. I'm going to hand this back to you and then I'm going to release it to you. And then I'm going to have to trust as to whether or not you're going to give it back to me in the way that I'd like for you to, or if you're going to bring something full circle in my life in an entirely different season that allows me at least to understand your choices for me, Lord, or appreciate them more fully, or just be able to settle into the realities of what my current life is.
God always makes you let go of something before he lets you take hold of something new. But I really believe that some of you, the biggest adventure that you could possibly have is to let go of something that's no longer bearing fruit in your life, or perhaps never has borne any fruit in your life. You don't even know why you're doing it. You're just kind of addicted to it. And you just can't imagine not doing it. You're foolish if you think you can always do what you've always done. Life is a journey. And things are anointed for a season. And friendships are anointed many times for a season. Everything is beautiful in its time.
Be careful who you surround yourself with. If you're not around to better me in some shape or form, then what are you around for? Like, do you know those certain people that just be around and they serve no purpose in your life? Like nothing. It's like they just drain your energy. Don't be around those people. Those people serve no good. They're just there. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing is, I had a lot of people like that around me. And then, you know, I started to love myself. I started to put myself first and all that good stuff. And I quickly realized, yo, why is this person around? If anything, they're slowing me down. You feel me? All I'm saying is make sure you reevaluate your life, look around, and really just pay attention. That's the best thing you can do. That's what I did, and I thank God that I did, because, man, it really did change my life. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The best form of self-love you could ever give yourself is to let people go. Like, stop chasing them, stop begging them, stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to just prove your worth to people, because at the end of the day, the people that desire to be in your life will make every effort to show you that they belong. And I don't mean that you have to have like this perfect connection every single day and have talk every single moment. That's not what we mean. We know that. We're mature enough. But the healthiest thing that you will ever do is stop begging people to be around. Like, stop begging people to make you feel like you matter or you value, because you'll have to convince yourself that you are less so that they can be more in it.
The brutal truth of cutting off toxic people who do not serve you anymore. Friends, family, people you've known for years, and the 2 ways that you can go about doing it. Save this video for later. Firstly, you have to understand that you do become who you hang with, and you've heard that many times before. You're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if you have a vision for your life, you have a future that you want to live financially, with your relationship, with your health, your business, your career, your parenting, or whatever you have for your vision, the people you hang around are the biggest indicator of whether you're going to get there or not. So if you have people that are staying where they are and you're constantly growing, those people are going to keep you stuck at where you are right now. So what's worth more to you? The future for your life, for your kids, your family, your wealth, your experiences, your business, or keeping people satisfied who don't want to grow? For me, my future means more to me. So understand and come to terms with that. Now, here are the 2 strategies that you can lean into. Firstly, you can just literally go cold turkey. Stop talking and engaging with those friends, because the reality is you're going to keep growing. And if they're not ready to start their growth, that's okay. It just means inevitably you're going to fizzle out. So you can pull the band-aid off and literally just stop talking to them. The second option, which you can lean into, is having an honest conversation with them, saying, hey, look, I love you, I appreciate you, we've been friends and we've known each other for years. However, I'm on this trajectory, I'm going this direction, I want to build a life that I fucking love. But the way you're acting, your behaviors, your attitude, your comments, the things that you say, it's actually holding me back. I want to be friends with you, but if you keep doing the actions, the behaviors you're doing, I'm just not going to tolerate it anymore. And I'm going to be setting boundaries. I'm going to be spending less time with you if you continue to do it. They might blow up at you. They might attack you. They might criticize you. That's cool. That's a reflection of them, not you. But you can give them the opportunity to come on the journey with you. That's up to them. And you cannot control their reaction. They can blame you. You're a victim. You've changed. The old you wouldn't have done this. Who do you think you are? You're going to fail anyways. That's just their venom they're throwing. Hurt people. Remember that. So either just cut them off, stop talking to them, or have an honest conversation with them. And all of this is to help you get to the future that you deserve. Let me know your thoughts down below if you experienced this, and if it helped, give it a share.
I think I have mastered how to let go of somebody when they leave your life, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a partner. How to master releasing control with love. Like, I could love you at a distance, but you don't need to be in my life. The level of pain that we feel when someone leaves our life is dependent on the emotional garden that we have built for ourselves. Let me explain. Let's say I have a full garden filled with fruits and vegetables, but I'm missing strawberries. And I love strawberries. I need strawberries. I need the vitamins and everything. So I could go and take my time and get a seed and plant the seed and, water it and everything and watch the strawberry bush grow. But instead, what a lot of people do is they don't want to take that time and build their own strawberry bush. So they go and find somebody that can give them strawberries. They go pick from the other person's garden, and even they help water the other person's strawberries. They're like, I'm going to help you build your strawberries. And then they build and build, and that person starts giving them strawberries. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I love strawberries. I crave them. And then the vitamins. And you get into a habit of eating strawberries every day. And then what happens when somebody leaves your life? What do you mean I can't have strawberries anymore? I'm not going to have that access to, what about the vitamins? And the level of pain we feel is, if we don't have strawberries, we're going to feel a lot more pain. And that's how I feel with emotions. Let's say I am missing self-value. I feel like I'm not enough, right? So instead of working on that every day, finding out that I'm enough, my feelings matter, I matter, regardless of anything external, and I learn to build that self-worth. Instead, I don't do it. I just live my life and I go, I'm going to go find someone that is going to make me feel like I'm enough. And then I do. I meet someone who starts validating my feelings and starts making me feel like you are more than enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start getting it every day. And I love it. It makes me feel so good. What happens when that person leaves my life? I'm going to be devastated because I don't have it in my garden. And I think that is the level of pain we feel when people leave our lives. If somebody made you feel something and you are completely, like, you can't get over it, you can't let go, it could be that whatever they gave you, you need to learn to give it to yourself. And in my book, I call it the boomerang effect. So it's like you're throwing a frisbee at somebody and they're throwing it back to you throughout the relationship, the friendship, the family, whatever. But when somebody stops throwing a frisbee at you and you're like throwing it back to them and you're not receiving it anymore, there's like a loss. So what you do is you throw a boomerang. So if you are in the situation and you want to kind of like let go naturally, not make it forced, write a list of everything that you need from them. You need to be spoken to with respect. You start speaking to yourself with respect. All the great things that this person made you feel, or the great things that you did for them, because you probably planted some, not just strawberries, but other things in their garden, you start planting them in your own garden. Fill up your garden that you don't need anybody. You will want them in your life because it's amazing. Like, if you have strawberries and then other people have different types of strawberries, like, different color strawberries, little different flavor, but you won't need them. You'll just kind of want them. They'll be a bonus. It won't be like a super dependency. And you'll be able to let go of someone in a much softer way. It'll be a lot natural. Now, you'll still experience the pain of the loss, right? Because you like the different types of strawberries, but it's not a need anymore, because you know that you can give it to yourself. So I hope this helps anyone who's struggling to let go of somebody that is no longer in their life. Okay, love you, bye.
Here's the steps how to let go with love and grace. Letting go doesn't mean slamming the door shut, never looking back. It's about releasing people with love and grace so you can free yourself to grow. And here's how. Number 1, accept the reality. Acknowledge the relationship no longer aligns with where you're going. Accepting this truth is the first step. Number 2, set boundaries. Distance yourself if needed. Limit your interaction with people who drain you and don't support your growth. Number 3, focus on your growth. Pour energy into your goals, passion, and the people who uplift you. The right people will align with your higher self. And number 4, practice forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting someone back in. It means releasing the resentment so you can move forward with peace. Number 5, Surround yourself with positivity. Find a tribe that supports your vision and cheers for your growth. These are the relationships that will nourish your soul. Letting go feels heavy at first, but once you release what no longer serves you, you feel a sense of lightness and freedom. For real, I felt that so much after that. You start to notice how much more energy you have for the things and people that truly matters, and you stop feeling drained by the relationship that don't uplift you. You find peace in knowing that you made room for the blessings that are meant for you. So to anyone that's struggling with this, I want you to know it's okay to let go. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It simply means you love yourself enough to prioritize your peace, your growth, and your journey. Stop clinging to relationships out of guilt or obligation. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces you've outgrown. Trust that by letting go, you're making room for something better. So I want to say thank you so much, beautiful souls, for sharing this moment with me. And letting go is never easy, but it's one of the greatest acts of self-love you can give yourself. So before we part, let's say our mantra one more time. I release what no longer aligns with my higher self. I honor my growth, my vision, and my journey. I am free to become the person I am meant to be. Until next time, goddesses, protect your peace, honor your growth, and always choose yourself. Bye for now.